Probably one of the best experiences of my life was working for Mainframe, working with this gentleman here. And especially ReBoot is such an important part of my life, and to see a room fill up like this with people who have seen the show and enjoyed the show is absolutely stunning to me.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is scary. This is like twice as many people as Toronto. This is great. So, is this thing on? Yeah. We don't really have a game plan here. We just like to yak about the old days. So if somebody could start us off with a question, we'll jump right in.
I have one question for you. When
Okay.
are we going to get the season on box set DVD? Yes.
That's a sort of future-related question.
See, this is good. We're not working for them anymore, so we can tell real stories.
Yeah, that's a sort of future-related issue. So I'll leave that to Paul to address when he takes the stage later. Okay?
I'd be happy to see that myself. I mean,
Me too.
well, you know what? This is funny for me because I guess I'll just
Go ahead.
Because I've just been ranting for hours these days. I started at ABC Children's Television, one of my jobs, back in '94, and the first show that I was assigned was ReBoot. Believe it or not, that was one of the first things we've done. And you're looking at the first computer animated television series ever. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows how it's been done. And we really just went in. And I remember stepping in the first day and just seeing the tests and seeing how incredible it was, and getting swept up in a lot of what happens.
Yeah.
But
we were making it up as we went along.
But wait a minute, you can't tell the story about how you used to fake the size of the staff?
Oh, what, like shuffling people around from room to room so it looked like there were more people there than there were?
Exactly.
Just bear in mind that, you know, at the time, like me and Ian and Phil and the other guys, we were like ReBoot Inc. And Dan here was essentially the client.
Yeah, I was
So
the network
we were
guy.
doing a show for him. He was the network guy, so the network would send him in and he'd see how we were doing. So we had to make it look good for the network. So, go on.
So what they would do is you would walk in and they had a bunch of people working, and you're like, well, this is our first workstation and we know how much is going. Now let me show you the second workstation. So you go to the next workstations, and then let's show you a third. Not knowing that the same people of the first one are now in the third one.
Well, you know, we were trying to recruit animators, and back then it was an unknown art.
And
so.
it was, and for me, I was just learning animation, so they were able to pull everything over me, and I completely fell for it all. But what ultimately what happened was, I never forgot the moment, because the first issue was the first issue. See, I gotta learn.
You're not in comic. Well,
Exactly.
We're not talking about comics. No.
First episode was done, and it was brilliant. The first episode was absolutely brilliant, and we're looking at the second, and we're seeing some of the stuff from then, and we're like, wow, how long did this get done? And they're like, well, it took about 10 weeks, you know, to get the first episode done. And we're like, and where are you on the next one? Well, we're halfway done. And where are you on the fourth? Oh, we haven't started yet. And we're like, uh-oh. What are we going to do?
It's true. Yeah. But the first one didn't even take 10 weeks. It took a lot longer. We just lied to you about how long it took. But to be fair, you guys cut us a lot of slack with the whole Medusa bug thing.
Yeah, and what the good stuff was that the fact is that everybody saw what we were getting and we believed it. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
And from the ABC side, we had a show called Bump of the Night, which was stop motion. Remember Bump? And we said the most eclectic hour on television was ReBoot and Bump of the Night on ABC Saturday morning. And ultimately, what happened is that we got the first 4 shows done.
Yeah.
And then we hit a wall.
And then we run out of episodes.
We ran episodes. People, these guys were sleeping.
Yeah. Under the desk.
Under the desk. They used to go there and used to find guys, no lie, in sleeping bags in front of their computers.
Yeah.
And they used to sleep in front of their computers in their sleeping bags.
While things were rendering, then you wake up and animate a little more, and then sleep some more, and keep going like that. So we ran out of shows, and the 4th show was the Medusa bug, right?
Right. 4th show was the Medusa bug. Then we ran out, and we went on a hiatus. We showed at ABC side. I'll express my full regret right now that we ran Superhuman Cyber Squad or something like that. Samurai Cyber Squad. Yes, that was my brilliant call. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I don't work at network television anymore.
Yeah, but we did the whole thing where the Medusa bug, we had that alternate ending to the Medusa bug, where the bug came back,
Yes.
And everybody was stone again.
Yep.
And then we did like bumpers for you guys. With
Yeah,
Megabyte going, woo-ha-ha.
Yeah, we made it look like the system was frozen, and it still stayed frozen until we got back with new
Until
shows.
we had new shows to show. And then we showed the Medusa bug again, but with the ending it now has, where the bug goes away and everybody's okay and we carry on with new shows.
With new shows, and that was a lot of fun. But as that was going on, here's the interesting thing. And like I said, we'll go into this fun stuff now, because I can finally tell these stories. So we go into the whole thing, and when I got there, every script was written. Remember that?
Yeah.
Every single script was already written, but it was written by people who did traditional animation. So it's the classic moment when Ian calls me up. And Ian, if you don't know, Ian Pearson, who's the insane mastermind behind so much of what ReBoot's about, and I'm only sorry that he's not here.
True. Yeah.
So Ian calls me up and he goes, Don, and he starts yelling at me, because that's what Ian does. He goes, we got this great bit. He wrote this whole thing where it's just Bob talking to Dot, and they go, I forgot what it was, but they go into the castle. And then they come out of the scene and they say, wow, isn't that amazing that we just fought giant flying bananas, we fought this, we fought that, and fought that. Okay, let's go back to the diner. And that was the show, and he goes, that's fucking boring.
Okay.
Come on, how am I supposed to correct that?
No, it's true, it's true.
He goes, can we just go out and just put all that stuff in there? So what we did at that moment, we literally started ripping apart
that was
single...
Wizards, Warriors, and a Word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
And the script was, I tell no lie, the script was 52 pages long. I have a copy at home. 52-page script for a 21-minute episode. We recorded. Now, Hollywood writers always write long anyway, but you learn to live with it, right? So we recorded the dialogue. We recorded the whole 52-page script. We cut the dialogue into the Avid, which was the editing system we used, with no gaps, no pauses for action, just solid dialogue. It was 37 minutes long. for a 21-minute show with action.
With action, and that was all the dialogue was over no action sequences.
Yeah, it was talking about action. There's a scene at the end of the show where Enzo's riding the giant banana, and he goes, oh man, we fought battle carrots and this and scultipedes and blah 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 blah, and we've done all this. And in the original version of the script, we didn't see any of that.
Never.
So that's why we put in the giant banana and the carrots and the scultipede, so we could have some action and less talking. But it involved, we basically threw out the entire second act of the show.
Yeah.
We had the beginning of the script and the end of the script, and all the stuff in between, we just made it up. Using lines from here, and we stole a glitch cutter from a different show, and things like that to make the story work, and introduce the thing of the two gauntlets going, level 58, level 59, level 28.
And I always remember that was like one of the turning points where we realized the way the show was built, at least in regards to the network, was completely wrong.
Yes.
We did not understand how to make a computer animated show, and we started to learn. And the thought was, when we sat back and said, you know what, we're approaching this as a traditional cell animation. It's not cell animation, it's live action.
It's live action, yeah.
And we said, okay, stop, let's do scripts like the live action scripts. So they started just writing dialogue.
Yes.
And then
less dialogue than 52 pages.
It is, and it went back to the old model of, a script is a minute a show, a page of script a minute a show. And all of a sudden now we got something that's going. And now it's starting to come alive.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to change, and now we get ourselves in trouble. With broadcast standards.
Oh, with BS&P, yes.
See, I'm just going to prompt.
BS&P.
See, I have to curse. I have to do this, because it's fun.
There's young people here.
Okay, does anybody take offense to my cursing? No! So anyway, what? Okay. Yeah, this is New York.
His mom does.
This is right.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so we're doing this one show, and at this point we were having hellacious fights with broadcast standards, and now
I'm trying to think what you're gonna lead up to here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going with the Mad Max one first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mad Max one first.
Yeah. Okay.
Mad Max one first. So what happens is that we do this whole show. We're running behind, and we find that motion is the fastest way to make up lost time in animation, because you can motion faster.
Yeah.
So they did the whole Mad Max show. I forgot the name. You know.
Bad Bob.
Bad Bob, of course, Bad Bob. With
Mad
the giant,
Max, Bad Bob.
Mad Max, Bad Bob. So we do Bad Bob, and literally just they're making the show up as they're going along.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bad Bob
to a driving rock soundtrack. We just got that. If you watch that show, you'll notice that once the rock and roll starts and the beat starts, the whole show just rolls with it the whole way. I love that about that. Just boom, boom. The cuts are all on the beat. And it just...
So
Sorry.
So it's okay. No, I love it. I just love talking about this stuff. So anyway, so we do it, and we took all the previous broadcast standards notes, and we just exaggerated all the violence, big blow-ups and everything like that. So we send the show in, and we get the note back from broadcast standards, and the note comes back, show completely rejected.
Ian had that framed, didn't he?
He did. He has a letter.
He's got the
It's
letter.
just a single line, show completely rejected.
Show completely rejected. Yeah.